Some more New York City headlines now. New York State is ordering restaurants and bars to close at 10 p.m. Gyms will also have to close at 10 p.m. Once again, more lockdown measures here in New York. The state is ordering restaurants and bars to close at 10 p.m., gyms to close as well, and New York is limiting indoor gatherings to 10 people effective Friday. Indoor gatherings effective Friday limited to 10 people.
And Vonnie, we had similar restrictions imposed in Canada as the case numbers continue to rise here, hitting new records in parts of this country. In Toronto, restaurants that had been hoping to see a reopening possible in some modest way actually will face restrictions that will continue. Bloomberg's Kate Bolingaro joins us now from Ottawa. And Kate, huge disappointment, obviously, but what we're being told is this is necessary because the path of this pandemic is not going in the right direction.
Well, exactly. That was one of the big things about when these restrictions first came into Toronto about a month ago, is that there was the hope that this would be 4 weeks of this modified stage 2 lockdown, or semi-lockdown, we could say. However, basically we're seeing that the city has decided to prolong that until December. So we've got casinos closed, meeting centers are closed, indoor bars and restaurants are to stay closed. And of course, the Canadian winter means patios are not necessarily going to be an option for these folks. And it's not only in Toronto, we're also seeing that in Quebec, where the biggest cities are also remaining in a modified lockdown, which is very similar to the one that, we're describing that's going to be coming to New York and that we are seeing in Toronto as well. And we've got the Prairie province of Manitoba that's saying it's going to move into the critical stage to have more restrictions coming into force as of tomorrow.
Yeah, and it's, of course, not just a health story. I want to play for you part of our interview with Andrew Oliver, the CEO of Oliver and Bonacini, a very successful restaurant chain in Canada. Have a listen, Kate.
Overall, it's extremely disappointing that, whatever it was 2 weeks ago was announced would be open at 50 people capacity. The city asked for another week. And now, again, the city's stepping on the restaurants' throats with very little to zero additional aid coming is beyond frustrating.
I've talked to a restaurant earlier today, Kate, who said he's had friends in the industry who've committed suicide. So difficult has this period been. I mean, a reminder that these are human beings under great stress. The business story isn't just a remote one. It's very personal. When you hear that, Kate, that not enough is being done, what's on the list? What could be done to help restaurants and other businesses that have to close?
Well, of course, we've had the government that has made some quite big promises about ramping up aid for parts of the country that are in lockdown and for businesses in those zones. However, obviously, all of that has not necessarily arrived as quickly as would have been hoped by the industry. And we are still seeing that the economy, which did have some strong months in the summer because of spending and, loosening of those restrictions, now we are seeing that this economy is going to be pummeled as we have this end-of-year slowdown. So clearly, the industries like restaurants and service industries and, casinos and other entertainment industries are really struggling, and they are going to be needing some injection of cash quickly, and not only just loans, but being able to actually keep people on the payroll and keep their doors open, because it's obviously going to have a huge impact on the community, which is something we're already seeing across the country is, local establishments and institutions are having to close down because they're simply going out of business due to the pandemic.